Would you let ChatGPT run your life? I did. My life was a mess. Seriously. I was double booking myself. My to do list was a mile long, but nothing ever got checked off. And my diet was basically anything I could order from my phone. If you're new here, my name's Tanya, business owner, planning fanatic, and visibility specialist. And well, at the time, my life felt really chaotic. I was desperate for a change. So I did something a little radical. I did a little experiment where I handed total control of my schedule over to AI. My schedule, my goals, and my life was all in the hands of ChatGPT for a full 7 days. And what happened? Well, it got weird. It got surprisingly profound, and it might have actually fixed my disorganized life. Look, we've all been there, right? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, where your brain just feels like it has way too many browser tabs open all at once and you can't figure out which one is playing music. That was my permanent state of being. My personal goals, like getting fit and growing this channel, felt like distant dreams. And any sort of work-life balance, well, it was non-existent. So I decided to run a little experiment. Could this piece of code on the internet that everyone was talking about actually bring some order to my chaotic life? The rules were simple. For 1 week, I would consult ChatGPT for everything: what to eat, when to work, how to tackle my goals, and I had to follow its instructions to the letter. I started by giving it a massive brain dump of everything that I wanted to do. I used a prompt that was something like, act as my productivity coach. I want to grow my YouTube channel, get back into a fitness routine, and improve my diet, all while keeping a work-life balance. Break these down into a 7-day plan with a daily schedule. What I got back was a perfectly structured, intensely detailed schedule. And I have to admit, looking at it, I was both impressed and absolutely terrified. ChatGPT's first day for me was, well, intense. It had me up by 6:30 in the morning for a 20-minute workout, followed by a breakfast of oatmeal and berries. My entire workday was blocked into 90-minute deep work sessions with 15-minute breaks in between. It even scheduled in a 30-minute block for mindful reading at night. To be honest, I felt less like a person and more of like a high performance machine. But the weirdest part, it actually worked. By the end of the day, I'd filmed a new video, I'd cleared out my inbox, and I'd eaten 3 healthy meals. The constant decision-making fatigue was just, well, it was gone. I didn't have to think. I just had to do. Still, it felt a little sterile, kind of like I was a character in a video game, just following the script. Now, my perfect system hit its first snag on day 2. A friend called at the last minute inviting me to a movie. My schedule, my perfect AI generated schedule, had a script writing block planned for that exact same time. So I asked my new boss, ChatGPT. A friend invited me to a social event that conflicts with my work. What should I do? The reply, well, it was brutally logical. To adhere to your goal of channel growth, it's optimal to decline the social invitation and complete the scheduled task. And that, my friends, is where the real human versus AI conflict kicked in. There was no room for spontaneity, no understanding that creativity gets sparked by getting out and actually living your life. I felt this genuine struggle between my commitment to the experiment and just wanting a normal, flexible human life. I wanted to go to the movies with my friend. In the end, I followed the AI, mostly for the sake of my experiment. I sent the polite no thank you text and sat down to write. And to be perfectly honest, I felt a little resentful. By day 3, I was starting to see the quirks in the system. For my mindfulness task, ChatGPT gave me a new instruction. Not meditating, not reading. It told me to, and I quote, spend 10 minutes contemplating the color green and its significance in nature. So I did. I sat in my office, stared at a plant, and just thought about, well, green. It was one of the most bizarre and surprisingly calming things I've done all year. It felt like a glitch in the system. It was a moment of unexpected beauty from a machine just following orders. It was the first time, too, in this whole experiment that genuinely made me laugh. By day 4, the shine, well, it was really starting to wear off. I woke up feeling exhausted. The rigidity was just getting to me. And I felt like I was on a productivity treadmill I just couldn't get off of. I started to wonder, was getting more done really worth feeling less like myself? That initial relief from decision fatigue was being replaced by a sense of robotic emptiness. My life was more organized, sure, but was it actually better? I felt totally disconnected from my own intuition, from my wants and my needs. Everything was just preordained by the algorithm. By the way, if you ever felt this kind of burnout from trying to be perfectly productive, or if you're just finding this AI takeover of my life absolutely fascinating, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It's free and you don't even need AI's permission. Okay, on day 5, I had a crucial realization. I was treating ChatGPT like a magic 8-ball, giving it simple questions and expecting perfect answers. The problem wasn't just the AI, the problem was me. I needed to be a better manager. Now, research shows that the more specific and detailed your prompts are, the better the results you get. So that morning, instead of just asking it what to do, I gave it context. I wrote, I'm feeling low energy and low motivation today. Adjust my schedule to prioritize my most critical task, but also add activities that will recharge me and help me avoid burnout. The response was a total game changer. It cut my work blocks down to 60 minutes. It swapped my high-intensity workout for a 40-minute walk outside. It even scheduled in a longer lunch break. It was a nuanced, empathetic, and genuinely helpful plan. This was the breakthrough. It's not just a command and obey system, it's a collaboration. It's a tool that just reflects the quality of your own input. So by day 6, I was starting to feel pretty bold. So I decided to see what else this thing could do. I stopped using it for just my schedule and started treating it like a strategic planner. I asked it to outline 3 new video ideas for my channel, complete with titles, hooks, and talking points. The output was actually pretty incredible. It gave me a solid creative framework that I could immediately start working with. Then I asked it to create a weekly meal plan based on a specific budget. In seconds, it generated a full plan complete with a categorized grocery list. That, my friends, is helpful. This was way beyond simple organization. This was active problem solving. It was like having an incredibly fast, slightly weird, but incredibly effective personal assistant. For the final day of my experiment, I gave it the ultimate challenge. Plan something deeply human and unpredictable. I asked ChatGPT to plan a small dinner party with 2 friends for that very evening. I prompted it to create a simple 3-course Italian menu for 3 people, generate a shopping list, and create a timeline for the evening starting at 5 p.m. The AI laid out a menu of bruschetta, a simple pasta dish, and tiramisu. It gave me a perfect shopping list, and it created a minute-by-minute schedule that was, quite frankly, a little too perfect. It literally had 15 minutes for lighthearted conversation scheduled between the main course and the dessert. The dinner itself was a mix of a success and, well, kind of a comedy. The food was great, but trying to stick to the AI's rigid social schedule, impossible and, quite frankly, hilarious. But my friends, they went along for the ride. They're good sports. Life, especially with friends, just doesn't fit into perfect little blocks. And that was the most important lesson of all. So, after 7 days of living by the algorithm, what's the verdict? Am I handing over my life to our new robot overlords for good? No, I'm not. But I'm absolutely keeping ChatGPT as my co-pilot. What worked was undeniable. The structure it gave me completely eliminated my daily decision fatigue. I got more done in 7 days than I sometimes do in a month, all because it forced me to work on only one thing at a time. It's It's a phenomenal brainstorming partner, and it is a powerful tool when it comes to getting over that blank page feeling. What didn't work was the rigidity. Life is messy. Friends call. Inspiration strikes at weird times. And some days, you just need to sit on the couch and eat some potato chips. The AI, as it is now, struggles with that beautiful, chaotic human element. It just can't replace your own intuition. As ChatGPT told me itself, I'm a tool, not a compass. So my experiment started as this desperate attempt to fix my chaotic life. But it also taught me something way more valuable. The goal isn't to outsource your life to AI. It is to use these incredible tools to clear away all the noise, to automate the boring stuff, so you have more energy for the things that actually matter. Thanks so much for coming along on this bizarre experiment with me. What is the single most useful thing you would ask AI to do for you? Let me know in the comments. I am genuinely curious. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures in productivity and creativity. And now that you know how to let AI organize your life, you might be interested in this video that is going to give you the best productivity tools that aren't AI. That's right, analog tools. And until next time, peace out.